as I've been sitting in my leather chair, watching the fire, just kind of reminiscing about all the Bryan's life, thinking back a little over 29 years ago to the night he was born, just down the road in Atlanta, and thinking about his journey since then, how it's kind of come full circle in a way. Come back home to his birth state, Georgia, and to start a new life with a wonderful and beautiful Bryan and Dominique.
Oh.
And the little family we started has become a much larger family. Joining together the Laughtons, the Youngcoffs, the Morgans, and the Torres family. And I'm especially pleased to have good friends Ken and Vicki McKenzie with us, friends from when we lived in Atlanta. And Ken was our minister, Presbyterian minister, and have the honor of doing the ceremony tomorrow. So we're very pleased about that. And to this day, the worst hangover I've ever had was after spending New Year's Eve at the minister and his wife's house. So, do you remember, what was the name? What did you make?
It was called artillery punch.
It's a Southern living recipe.
Oh, so that will be the after dinner drinks tonight.
I want to try.
It's like jungle juice, Richard.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Richard didn't get up till 5 o'clock in the evening.
It was bad. So lots of good memories. I mean, some I didn't remember too well. But as I was sitting there in my leather chair, and the fire started getting lower. Really, what I felt was just an overwhelming sense of gratitude, and especially at my good fortune at bringing Bryan's dad, and for the gift of a beautiful new daughter-in-law. So, as I thought about just all the good memories, I remember the time when I first met Dominique. Bryan brought her up. I guess it was almost 2 years ago to the cabin, and it was around Christmas holidays. I remember Tracy and I loved her immediately. I mean, I just felt we could tell she's very special, and we thought even back then they were a great couple. And we did some skiing, had a nice day of skiing. And Donnie's a really good skier. But she and I, neither one of us can keep up with Bryan, because Bryan loves to go fast. He goes straight down the mountain. So Bryan loves to speed. So we just meet him down at the chairlift. But in addition to going fast on the mountain, one thing as I was thinking about Bryan's life is a kind of a thread I picked up on, is that Bryan loves to jump. He loves to jump off of things and leap off of things. And the higher the better, and the riskier the better. So I remember, we got a picture of Bryan jumping off like a 40-foot cliff.
We have it, actually.
Yeah, a 40-foot cliff. I think it's 40 feet. I mean, it's pretty high up there. And now
I thought it was 60.
A 60-foot cliff.
I got another picture.
Alabama.
60. We'll talk about it. Okay.
But into a pool of water, and actually they don't allow that anymore because people get killed. So I mean, they don't actually allow that. So I actually had a great shot of Mike and Bryan. Mike Alaprondo, Bryan's best man, when they went skiing up in Catskills. And back then, Mike was kind of a beginner skier, and he hadn't quite learned to turn yet. So he and Bryan would just go straight down the mountain and jump off these ski lifts and go as high and as far as they could. They actually got pretty high. I got pictures of all of them just like spread eagle, smiling flying through the air. Oh yeah. And then I've got a picture of Bryan jumping out the side of a sailboat into shark-infested waters. There might have been a shark, we don't really know. And jumping off a bridge in the Chattahoochee River into shallow water. And then I know recently that Bryan and Dominique went up in an airplane together and jumped out of it. So it kind of struck me that maybe all these jumps were rehearsals in a way for the jumping together tomorrow. But tomorrow they'll be jumping with their hearts. And for the highest and the riskiest jump of their lives so far. Because we all know, I mean, that's the thing about it. I mean, through all of our lives, all these jumps we take, they all come with some risk. And when we're on the edge of the precipice, in the back of our mind somewhere, we know that this could end badly. But still, we go through with it. And it's one of the mysteries. Like, when do we know what's the right thing to do and when to jump? I've been thinking about that, and I found this poem. Actually, I need it on my jacket. I wasn't prepared, sorry. And you know how some of these things go is they just kind of happen. Actually, I was doing some volunteer work at a nonprofit right here. And I was setting up the computer. And I was thinking of all of these things. And sitting on the counter was this poem. And I felt this poem really offered a glimpse into this mystery in ways that I think art, in forms of art like poetry, can. And this poem is by Andreas Nin, and it's called Risk. And then the day came when the risk to remain tight and a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. So I'd like to offer a toast to Bryan and Dominique. May your love blossom forever. Creating a beautiful garden full of happiness and joy. May it nourish your hearts and those of the many people whose lives you touch in your lifelong journey to good. Cheers.
Amen. Cheers, sweetheart. Cheers, Edward. Edward, cheers.
Cheers.
Mommy, Poppy. Cheers, 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 everybody. Cheers. You get to sit with us, Mom.